and welcome to Wookie Pandey's Star Wars YouTube channel. This is the first video I'll have on my channel, and today we'll be talking about 5 things I want to see happen in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So, yeah, this channel is just going to be about all things Star Wars related. Check out my setup. We're here in the studio. It's a pretty good setup. So yeah, I just wanted to be one of the first people to really deliver some professional commentary regarding the Star Wars universe. So let's get started. Spoiler warning for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, but not really, because I'm only going to be talking about what's included in the trailers and stuff. So there's not really much to be spoiled if you've seen the trailers, because that's what all I've seen. Okay, enjoy the video. Before we get started, I just want to say this video is sponsored by Loot Crate. I will have... I'm just kidding. I'm too poor to get any sponsorships. Anyways, let's get started. So the first thing I want to say, number 5, one of the things I want to see in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is the incorporation of the cartoon characters and not the expanded universe per se, but more the expanded characters that we don't see out of the movies referenced in Star Wars Rogue One. And they've already started to do that because they have Saw Gerrera, who was originally a character in the Clone Wars, coming in, played by Forrest Whitaker. And I really like that because it's really giving some leeway to the people who actually help create the Star Wars universe, such as Dave Filoni, who are doing such a good job making Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars. And because Star Wars Rebels takes place so close to Rogue One, it'll be really interesting to see how the events in Season 3 of Rebels, which will be wrapping up right before Rogue One starts, which will be almost finishing before Rogue One comes out, having some impact on Rogue One. So it'll be interesting to see how the crew of the Ghost and stuff have impacted the way that Jyn Erso and all are going ahead with their mission. And I just want to see Gareth Edwards at least recognized that 1 or 2 times by maybe dropping a few names here or there. Number 4 is, I really want to see a sense of loss in this movie. So this movie really isn't your typical Star Wars movie. The Star Wars stories and these anthology movies, as we used to call them, is supposed to be kind of an offshoot off of what Star Wars was, what the science fiction was, and when Kathleen Kennedy announced that Lucasfilm was going to do this, she said that they really wanted to make Star Wars its own genre. So they wanted to move it from science fiction to, oh, I'm making a Star Wars movie, so that can have multiple meanings. And when they got Gareth Edwards onto the project, Gareth really said he wanted to make a war movie. So with a war movie comes some good loss. And you know that in this movie, Jyn Erso's father is playing a big role as he's basically like the architect of the Death Star or something like that. I don't really know because I've only seen the trailers. But I want to see what had to convince a guy to create a genocidal weapon. Like what were the stakes? Did they threaten Jyn Erso? Did they threaten to kill his village or something? What were the stakes? And when you're putting up the Rebel Alliance against the Empire, you know that the Rebel Alliance is not going to fare too well because really before the original Star Wars in 1977, the Rebels weren't really that powerful, meaning that there has to be a lot of deaths. And because we don't see a lot of these characters in the original Star Wars from 1977, we know that a lot of them have to pass away. So I really want to get a sense of loss in this war movie, so that the next time I watch the original Star Wars, I'm thinking, hey, this all happened because of these guys over here. So, that was number 4.
That was number 4?
Yeah.
Is that your outro for number 4?
I don't know.
I mean, it's your channel.
Number 3! So, another thing I want to see in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is practical effects and practical set building and stuff. And we got a lot of this in The Force Awakens. So I just want to see a lot more of that in this new movie because it really brings that Star Wars feel to the movie. We had our fair share of CGI in the prequels, and nothing against the prequels, but I think The Force Awakens did a good thing about bringing back that feel of the original trilogy and the practical effects. And Gareth Edwards, looking at the trailers and that cinematic reel that came out at Comic-Con, it looks like he's really making an effort to make practical effects, make sure that the sets are built well, and to give it that authentic feeling that was there in the 1977 Star Wars. So that's just one other thing I'd like to see in Rogue One. Number 2! So another thing I want to see in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is Darth Vader. And you're probably thinking, well, Rishi, we already know Darth Vader's going to be in the movie. We saw him in the trailer 2 and a little bit of trailer 3, and we know what's happening. What do you mean by Darth Vader? I mean, I need to see a certain type of Darth Vader. Now, we know Darth Vader as a military commander, like we see him in the original Star Wars, where he's in that board meeting with a bunch of colonels and admirals, and he's He's talking about like the plans for the Rebel Alliance and stuff and how they're going to take them out. And then we also know the sorcerer Darth Vader, the one who can stop lasers with his hands, and the one who whips out his laser sword to fight off Obi-Wan Kenobi, the old wizard man from Tatooine. But I do not think that at any point in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, Darth Vader should pull out his lightsaber. It should be on his hip, a reminder of the power he could do, or the damage he could do. But I think we should know that Darth Vader is actually powerful enough to stop Jyn Erso and her friends on his own without even using his lightsaber. He can stop their bullets, he can command some troops to go take them head on, he can use the Force to just take them out. And I really think that because this film is a war story, it's important to see that we don't see Darth Vader use his lightsaber, but rather act more as a military commander. And if our group of rebels even ever confront Darth Vader in this movie, it should be a grim reminder to them and to the Rebel Alliance of how powerful he truly is. Just like they showed in Star Wars Rebels when Kanan and Ezra met Darth Vader. It's always a grim reminder to the Rebel Alliance of how powerful this Dark Lord is.
And guys, finally number 1. Jyn Erso becomes Professor Snoke. So we saw Professor Snoke in the Force Awakens movie, the 6th or 7th movie in the Star Wars trilogy.
So here we go. The real number 1. I really want to see some good ship battles ship battles in Star Wars Rogue One, or Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. We've seen some good ones before and stuff, right? We've seen the opening of Revenge of the Sith when they're spiraling over Coruscant and stuff, and they really just have to go save the Chancellor. And my personal favorite one is at the end of Return of the Jedi, when it's like the ticking time bomb, when they don't know whether the shield is going down or not, and you have everyone from all the colored leaders to the Millennium Falcon, driven by Lando Calrissian, just going around and having that huge dogfight with those TIE fighters. And I think Force Awakens had a couple good ship battles. It really did, when the Millennium Falcon was on Jakku and stuff. And I really enjoyed seeing that. But that was a bit more nostalgic of what we saw with the Millennium Falcon. I really want to see some good ship battles using the X-Wings and the Y-Wing bombers, the B-Wings, and the A-Wings. So, you know, all your standard Rebel cruisers, all your standard Rebel ships. And I think Star Wars Rebels has really delivered this to us by demonstrating the true magnitude of the rebellion and their power. And I think that Rogue One can even enhance this by showing us how, hey, maybe there's some new ships we didn't know of, because I think they have the U-Wing, if I'm correct. They have a new ship. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure there's a U-Wing.
And the P-Wing too. I'm so excited for that.
There's no P-Wing.
It's shaped like a P.
There's no P-Wing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
I thought Darth Maul wore it in... Keep going. Sorry about that. I didn't mean it, dude.
Anyways, yeah, basically I just want to see some good dogfights. I want to see maybe while Jyn Erso has to go steal the plans or something, we have the Rebels trying to hold off Rogue Squadron, trying to hold off the TIE fighters and stuff like that. That'd be really interesting to see, and I think Gareth Edwards will execute very well. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to try to post a video every week regarding Star Wars Rebels, the Clone Wars, the video games, the movies, the books, everything related to Star Wars. And if you didn't like this video, I don't know.
Go frick yourself.
Yeah. If you didn't like this video, I guess tell me what I could change, what I could do better. So it's my first video. So yeah, comment what you guys want to see happen in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and Wookiee Pandey is signing out.
Ching, 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 ching.